I'd like to think that I'm a kind person, a nice man. I do my best to live my life in a way that I'm existing as the protagonist of a story or a novel that is my life. I would like to think that I've done my best to to treat others as kindly and as respectfully as I can. Not only those that were good to me or that are good to me, but even those that probably did not deserve at all. But it is part of just living your life, being or doing your best to live your life as the protagonist or as the good guy in your own story. But of course, that is very subjective. Um, your story, um, despite your efforts for your character to be the good guy, in some people's stories or version of your own story, you may not appear to be the good guy at all, and that is something we just gotta accept. You know? Sometimes, or in a lot of times, I would imagine um, who they are to you and what they are to you, unfortunately, will never be the same or will never be the way you are to them. You know, and you just gotta accept that. You know? I'd like to think that I have done my best to be appreciative of other people, especially those that have been around you or that are around you that treat you well, that treat you with the respect that hopefully you deserve. Hopefully, I deserve. Um, I made it uh, a life goal to, even though I'm gonna interrupt myself there, even though I may not be the most religious type, I may not be the best man in the world, but I've done my best to just be kind, to be good, and to treat people with respect. Now, I'm probably just repeating myself by saying that, but I do like as well to be sweet. I like to be romantic, as sappy as that may sound. Um, I like to see other people happy. You know, I like to congratulate them when something amazing or when something just joyful happens in their lives. Um, I like seeing old men or old. Wait, let me backtrack a bit there. I like to see old couples holding hands in public. I like to see um, people having birthdays and celebrating with them. I like to I like to see when people accomplish things in their lives that make them just really happy and changes their lives. You know, of course, sometimes it doesn't work that way. Not all the time you win, unless you're Arnold Schwarzenegger. Then all the time, almost every time you win. Sometimes bad things in life happen, and it is the way I see it. Uh, just another test because in life things will go sideways and things will not work out the way you want them to. Things are not going to go your way. Things start falling apart when you thought everything was going well. It will always happen. Uh, Nobody has a perfect life. I don't think so anyway. And if there's someone out there who has a perfect life, I would like to meet this person. Um, but it's the way we bounce back from all of this that's really the most important thing and what really matters in my opinion. I like to see the people I love happy, and I'd like to think that I've done a good job, fairly decently, uh, when it comes to I'm losing my train of thought here. I did not prepare any speech at all. I'm just going, I'm just winging it. But I want to say that I'd like to think that I have done um, a decent job at treating other people and being good to them and being kind to them. And you can't always expect other people to do the same for you, or not just you, but do the same for other people that you either know or don't know. Yeah. We don't operate in a single mind like that. If everyone was so good, if everyone was just so authentically or genuinely kind, then it might not be the world we want to live in. We need to have different types of people, I suppose, and that would be way too much of a perfect world, which is just virtually impossible. But it is something, it is a fact that I suppose we gotta accept, and we just learn to live with and to adapt to at the same time. Um, the point is why I'm talking about these things is I suppose we will always do our best to be the good person that we want to be, based on what our perception of good is and what our beliefs, our principles of what constitute a good person. And sometimes, despite your efforts, perhaps um, some people might not see it the same way. You know, I've been into situations or experiences where I thought I did what was right, what I felt was right, and what I believed to be the good action to take, but turned out that it can get misunderstood. It can get a bit twisted sometimes, but by the end of the day, um, the thoughts and the opinion of the people that matter to you more is uh, is the most important, you know. And and sometimes being good, being the gentleman, or being the kind person, despite it being probably really the best approach to living your life is, um, may not result or may not give you um, the the results or the acknowledgement that you probably deserve. You know, because in life, of course, like I mentioned earlier, things bad things could happen, and you just gotta learn how to kind of adapt to it, to kind of tackle the issues head on, and with a clear mind, and accept the fact that um, you will not always be um, experiencing all the good stuff. Sometimes, or a lot of times, in some cases, as unfortunate as it may sound, um, bad things will happen, and the year for me has been, what are we right now? August. We are nearing the end of August. uh, what, 4 months. I have 4 months left for something good to happen. Granted, uh, the year has been just a barrage of, I don't want to say negativity, because yeah, okay, maybe they're not very good things that happen, but they are either stressful things or disappointing things leading to resentment and jealousy, perhaps. Um, but I'd like to think of them as, like I mentioned earlier, uh, tests. And this year has been full of tests, and heartbreak and disappointment. I don't want to say loneliness. I have people around me, luckily, that are there when I need them, or whenever things start to get kind of hazy and steered. I'm fortunate enough to have a small circle that I can go to whenever I needed guidance or motivation, I would say. But the majority of the time, I'm left to my own devices, like a lone wolf almost. But I'm used to that. Uh, I have grown as a kid, as an only child, not even living with my parent at all, And I'm the type of person, I'd like to think, that knows how to be alone. And because of that, and because of my upbringing, um, I am also fortunate enough to not even think twice, not even hesitate to to uh, to let go of people that I believe that I see to be just a negative influence, or perhaps someone that I know I cannot trust, someone that has perhaps betrayed me. I'm not afraid to lose friends. As quick as I am when it comes to making friends, maybe I'm not the type that talks first, but when people start talking to me, I will definitely talk to you. And next thing you know, you can't stop me. But I guess that's one beautiful thing about growing up as an only child with no father, and your mother is away working somewhere, perhaps in another city or another country even. I've learned to be okay with being alone, doing things by myself, and not being able to count on anyone when you really needed it. And but of course, the drawback is I am not afraid to lose people. I'm not sure if that's a drawback, really. I mean, maybe we should not be afraid of losing people. Countless times in my life, I had been afraid. I feared losing people. And I learned quite recently that you should not be. People will come and go, you know, either because of natural causes, if you know what I mean, or um, uh, life has taken them away from you, or they chose to not be a part of your life any longer, and it will happen. It always happens, like I said. Um, Now that I think about it, I don't think I have a specific subject right now. I'm firing in all cylinders. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this one, but the good thing is I can assure you that all I'm really doing is thinking or speaking what is in my mind as we go. Um, but despite all the things that I like to think, that is a good aspect of my personality. Like, for example, I do know that I like to be kind to people, like I mentioned. I like to be sweet. I like to be romantic and thoughtful. I like to be friendly. I like to greet people good morning. I like to be as much of a gentleman as I can possibly be, not just to men, not just to women, maybe to animals as well. I like animals. Wish I had a dog right now, actually. That would be awesome. But because I live alone, and if you work an 8-hour job 5 days a week, um, it might be just cruel to have an animal in the house or in the apartment. In my case, um, it's pretty much just getting something, having someone you love, but then completely ignoring it and abandoning it. Based on experience, I don't think that's uh, that's not anything nice to do at all. It is probably just cruelty to the animal if I do that, and I'm not gonna do that to a dog. Just to leave it in the apartment for hours on end every day. Um, so unfortunately, I can have that, but you can't have everything in life unless you're super rich. Maybe you can, but even then, you most likely can't. It's just virtually impossible, essentially impossible, really. Um, and I guess that's it for today. In conclusion, I just wanted to say all those things about how I try to conduct my life, how to behave when it comes to interaction with the people that I know or I don't know, and and not everything in life or nothing in life is perfect. Even myself, nobody is, nothing is, regardless of how much I try to live my life as as I don't know. I don't want to say perfect. That is not the right term. As good as possible. Can I say that? Regardless of how much I do my best to live my life as good as possible, as I can possibly um, as good as I can possibly be. Um, there is darkness in all of us.